Welcome back to the Manage to Win podcast. And we're looking forward to a conversation today with Aytekin Tank. He is the founder of Jotform. They've got 20 million users, 500 employees, and they took on Google and they're winning. At least they've got their portion of the market anyway. But before we dive there, please consider Habitly.com. If you want to be your best, you need to take some time to fine tune how you work with others, how you set your objectives, how you avoid conflict, manage conflict, and become a great leader. That's all there on Habitly.com. Check it out, 7 days free. We are going to talk to Aytekin. He has a new book coming out about automate your busy work. And he's got some tips on things that have helped him grow as a leader and his organization grow. And there's some good stuff here for you. So let's dive in. Aytekin, you've written this book about automate your busy work, and I think we're all faced with that because I'm 66 years old. Every year that passes, there seems to be more things I need to do, and yet I can't do because they won't fit in my calendar. And it sounds like you found the secret sauce. So where do you want to start this conversation?
I believe that happiness at work is kind of finding the sweet spot between like your passions, what you enjoy, and what you're good at, and really spending your time on those things, and also finding things that are like meets the needs of your business. So, but let me tell you my story to explain this better. So in 2000, I graduated from college. I studied computer science, and I started working as a developer in New York City for a internet media company. And I really enjoyed my work, but there was this one task that I didn't enjoy much, and that was creating forms, like creating online forms. And we had to create like so many forms, and like I wanted to find a way to not do that. So I tried to find a product that can actually automate this for me. And I couldn't find one. So after 5 years working there, I quit my job and I started Jotform. And that was 17 years ago. And I'm still at Jotform, still developing Jotform, continue to grow Jotform. But at that point, really, I kind of picked the topic that I didn't enjoy much because I knew that a lot of people also needed forms, and they needed to automate creation of their forms. And that really worked out well. And people actually, a lot of people started using Jotform, and things were going well. And, I was growing my business. But a couple of years in, I was stuck again. Like this time, I was spending all my day with busy work, like answering emails. Like I was spending from morning to night, like I was answering so many emails, and I was, responding to customers, which is actually good. You learn a lot from customers. But if you keep answering the same question again, it's not that good. I was spending all my time doing things like, accounting, HR, legal, like all the busy work. And I wasn't enjoying much. Like I really wanted to spend more of my time developing my product, and growing my product. But it's just as the product, as we found more and more customers, it was taking more and more of my time to do all the work. So I was kind of, drowning in busy work. And right at that time, like someone actually sent me an email and said, a friend of mine told me that, hey, did you see that Google just came up with a competitive product? Like you are now competing with Google Forms. And what do you think about that? I wasn't really excited about that. And that was kind of a moment for me to take stop and think about like how I am spending my time and how I can change this. Like what can I do? And why I'm spending so much time with this busy work, and why I'm not spending my time on matters that really matter. So after, taking some time to understand like why, how I can really compete with Google, how I can be, how I can start enjoying my work again, that I started thinking about our customers. So forms are just one step in like a business process, right? Someone fills a form to make a request or, contact you. Like they can be a lead or they can make a request. They can register for your website or your product or something. And it's just, and we were actually helping people not with their forms, but also with all the next steps in their business, like all their like business processes. So like we were automating their emails, we were automating their like document generation, like we could create like PDFs. We were automating like the data transfer from like the form to like other services, like either using Zapier or like without Zapier, like with organic integrations, like direct integrations with other products. So we were allowing them to create reports and everything. So we were actually automating a lot of their businesses. But at the same, like I was creating this like automation product, but I wasn't actually spending my time, like I wasn't automating anything in my own business. So I thought, why don't I apply my own medicine to myself? So why don't I start automating things? And it was kind of difficult in the beginning because it's kind of easier to make a product that can help other people, but it's harder to help yourself for some reason. So I started with emails. Like I was spending so much time with emails, so I needed to find a way so that I wouldn't spend whole day. And I can actually describe the solution I find if you want to go into the details. But
yeah, let's go into the details.
Yeah,
let's go into the details because everybody's suffering with email if you've been around for any period of time.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the emails is like we receive like so many emails. I receive hundreds of emails, and I don't know what to do with them. And but the most important thing is you don't want to like the email inboxes don't really care if something is a spam, something is a sales email, or something is like really top most important email in your business. So it's just the inbox format is wrong. It's listing all the emails by date and time, and that's the wrong approach. The right approach should be priority. So what I did was I actually tried to find a good product that can actually do this for me. Like I tried 10 different email products, but nothing worked. Then I went back to Gmail. I was using Gmail. We are using Gmail's like the product that you can use your own domain, like business domain. So we are using Gmail Enterprise. So with Gmail, you can create labels and you can create filters. So I thought that I can actually accomplish this just using labels and filters. Here's what I did. I created 3 labels. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. And I started creating these filters so that when an email is received, it's added, a label is added to it. So for example, and the level 1 is the top priority emails. So if I receive an email from our VP of HR, or at that time, of course, I didn't have a VP of HR, but from an important client, or from like someone important, that would it would automatically add level 1. And if I receive an email from someone I know, that actually goes to level 2. And all the other emails that I care about, that I read, they go to level 3, like newsletters I read, like the email threads I'm part of, or the the reports I receive. So they are not high priority, but they go there. So what I did was I created these bookmarks on my browser. So level 1, level 2, level 3, that's it. And if I click on, so when I want to process my emails, I don't go to Gmail inbox. I almost never go to Gmail inbox. I will just go and click on level 1. And there I'm going to have like 5 top priority emails because I created all these like filters. For example, and I keep creating these filters. For example, like my book, the publisher is Wiley, right? So if Wiley sends me an email, that's really top priority. So if there's an email coming from wiley.com domain, that's going to go to level 1. So even when I'm on vacation or between meetings that I have like 5 minutes that I can check in my emails, I will go to level 1. I will review my emails, like process them. And then, on vacation, I can just take 15 minutes and then I don't have to worry about like missing about really important email. And level 2 is like, once I finish level 1, I go to level 2. And this allowed me to be less stressful about emails because I don't have to worry about, missing any emails, losing any important email. I process my emails by priority. And if I can only spare 1 hour that day, that I'm actually making sure that I'm only, I'm going by priority. And yeah.
But with the level 1, level 2, level 3, do you have to enter in the email address for each one that's going to filter that way? Or do you?
Yeah, I actually created over the years, I created over 2,000 filters. I did that. But the good thing is when you're starting out, you don't have to enter them all. Like you could just start with level 1 first, and you could just start with I have my wife, of course, if there's an input, that's the top priority, right?
Yeah.
Wife and family. Yeah. But it's just, you could start slowly, but as the time went on, that number of filters I have increased. But because I'm not spending so much time with creating filters, I'm just adding them gradually. It's not taking too much time.
But do you have to add those to a particular list or when an email comes in, can I right click on it and assign it to level 1, level 2, level 3?
I could do that, but I never do that. I prefer creating the filter. But on Gmail, creating a filter is very easy. You just search for that email address and then you say create filter, and then it takes seconds.
And have you had somebody do something similar in Outlook? A lot of us use Outlook.
I believe Outlook or other email clients, they all have labels and filters. I haven't used Outlook for a very long time, but they should have it.
So you talk about automate your busy work. I mean, when I think of my busy work, I've got meetings with people that I'm managing. Mm-hmm. I've got a ton of email, but then I also have projects that I have to create, and I don't know of a way to automate that because a lot of times I have the expertise where I have to create the first draft and then other people do feedback and add to it. What other ways have you found that automate some of the quote unquote busy work?
Definitely. That's really when you start automating things, that you find that it's some tasks are not you cannot just put them on a to-do list, right? If you have a project, you cannot just put them on a item on a to-do list. They are they are what we call workflows, right? Workflows are not single items. They can involve things like, okay, I sent an email to this person. I'm waiting for a response. I'm waiting for an approval, a client to accept something. It can involve finishing many other things before you can go on. So in the book, I talk, so basically I developed this framework that I call automation flywheel. And the automation flywheel is the process of continuous improvement. And it has 3 steps. On the first step, divide and conquer. The second step is design and implement. And the third step is refine and iterate. So on the first step, on the divide and conquer step, what we are doing is we need to understand how we are spending. And I'm going to get to that, the project part. And that's about the workflows. But I want to go with the order. So on the divide step, we are actually trying to understand how we are spending our time on. So one of the techniques that I recommend in the book is make a time audit. So basically, you can use your iPhone's alarm, or you can use one of the automated resting product or something. But basically, every top of the hour, you go to a spreadsheet and you write down how you spent the last hour, and you do this for a week. If you want to do it for 2 weeks, that's fine. But usually 1 week is enough. And at the end of the week, you add up all these numbers, and you actually come up with how much time you're spending with your work. And you ask yourself two questions. What should I spend my time on? And what shouldn't I spend my time on? And the question, what shouldn't I spend my time on, is more important, because it's the things that you don't enjoy, the things that you are not passionate with. I mean, you are not doing them well, and they are like taking your energy and your time. And those are, it's better to automate those things, because the things that you enjoy, you don't want to automate them, because, you want to have more time for them. And you want to automate things that you don't enjoy. So, on the divide and conquer, on the divide step, you basically understand how you are spending your time on, and you explore your time.
But then you're also going to be challenged that. So you notice some areas, probably like you brought up, that you should not be spending your time on. And then what about all those temptations that come in that are ideas, projects, documents that need to be created, whatever it might be, that seem like they're important or equally important? And have you had any breakthroughs on really kind of making those decisions? Because it's kind of like you just keep seeing these things come in more and more, and all of a sudden you've got 36 hours of work to do in a day, where you only have
time
5 to 10 hours. I mean, it's just, you just got to say no, but which one do you say no to? How do you prioritize?
So that's actually on the concourse step, which is about understanding your workflows. But what you're seeing is about like the metrics, the Eisenhower metrics, is about like the importance and urgency. And the urgent stuff that are not important, they like keep taking your time, right? You have to pay this bill or something. It's just taking so much time.
Yeah.
And then, so on the conquer step, what we are doing is basically we are trying to understand our workflows. So, and when I say workflows, I actually literally mean like flow charts, like really design, like really creating flow charts on paper, or like using one of the workflow diagrams products. So as you put down all those projects that you involve with, like I understand each project is different, but usually they're also very similar. The clients have different needs, but how you help them is kind of has similarities. So you can create these workflow diagrams to understand how you are spending your time with, and put down, each step. And the great thing about this is it's very similar to the time audit. When you put things down on paper, it makes a big difference, because in your mind, everything is like very confusing, very complex. Like it's hard to, how am I going to automate this? Like this is very too much. Like, but when you put things on paper, you see that it's not that complicated. It's actually much simpler than you thought, and you start seeing opportunities for automation, and you also start seeing, even if you don't automate, you're basically documenting your business, which is good. If you go to vacation, someone can take over, or when you put it on paper, you can actually find shortcuts, improvement opportunities. So it's, making diagrams of your work is very useful by itself. So this is the divide and conquer step. You understand your business, how you spend your time. Yeah, you put it down on paper, and you now know, like, how your time goes by. And this involves things like very important stuff, but urgent stuff that are not important, and things that, the project. So you should be like putting down everything so you understand how your time goes by. And on the second step, design and implement, you're basically looking at these, diagrams and trying to come up with automation solutions. But this is really hard. This is the hardest part, I believe, because it's just, it's very difficult to, like when you do something manually, it's just easy, right? You are used to it, but you are spending so much time every day doing something. But if you could automate it, it's going to be much better. But you know that, but you don't want to, like, it's hard to, kind of, trust on the automation. Like, you know that you can do things better. But this is like basic, like management 101, right? Delegation. So when I started my company, I had no experience managing people. Like I was developer for 5 years. So when I started my company, when I hired my first employee, like I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know how to manage them, how to delegate things. Like I thought that, they cannot do it. So I would do the hard stuff and I would just give them the easy stuff. I would make all the mistakes. And I learned as time went by. And so you kind of have to have this, trust that it's going to work out, and kind of, and one of the things that I really recommend is like go to websites like g2.com and like read the reviews of the products that can help you. Because when you read the reviews, like you kind of see like all the other people, they have the same problems and they use the product and they really were able to automate their work. So it's, and we are in a different kind of age. And I'm also 45. It's also difficult for me to, automate things. Like we are getting older, I know, but we are in a different kind of time now. I think there are 3 revolutions going on. The first one is the software is eating the world. Mark Anderson said this, that everything is becoming software. Like in the past, you would go to a travel agent, say, "Oh, I want to go to a warm place," and then they will handle everything. Right now, you have to do everything yourself. So everything is becoming software, which is actually good because you have so much options. Like it's everybody from their home have the same options as similar to a big company.
Yeah.
And the second one is the no code / SaaS revolution. Like there's just thousands of no code products, thousands of SaaS products that can do anything you might think about. And if you think that something is not possible, something cannot be automated, just Google it or go to like g2.com and you will find a product that can actually do that. So it's you kind of have to do some research. You kind of have take the time to play with products, like try to and many products, Jotform actually has that too, like has free versions, so you don't have to like really pay money to play with them. Like you can just go to jotform.com and creating an account is like just you can use your Gmail account, connect quickly, and then play around, like create your first form, but create a document, automate an email or something.
So divide and conquer, I'm really looking at my workflow and I'm going to figure out once again what I can get rid of and what I need to focus on. Is that right?
Yes. So yeah, and I will go back to the divide and conquer. But the third revolution is the AI revolution. And it's just changing everything. Like I don't know if you're playing around with ChatGPT, but it's incredible.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, these days, instead of going to like Google and searching for something, I just go to ChatGPT and I ask the question directly. And it's going to tell me the answer. I mean, it's sometimes mistaken, but I think it's going to get better and better with time. So it's mind blowing. Yeah. So on the divide and conquer step, we are understanding our business. We are creating these flow charts. We are putting all these, workloads on paper, understand how we are spending our time on. And then the next step is design and implement step. In the second step, we are actually trying to find automation. We don't have to automate everything at once. I think that's really important. This is a process of continuous improvement. That's why I call it the automation flywheel. It's a flywheel. It's a continuous improvement. It's not just something you do once. So you had some automations, but you can see how things are going in your business, and you deploy some automations, but you don't have to do everything at once. Just try to do, and try to automate things that you shouldn't be spending your time on, so that you have more time for things that are, more like growing your business, or like strategizing about your business, or, spending your time with your kids. I have 3 kids, and I know I think you have 8 kids, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
And 5 grandkids.
Yeah. Wow. And so yeah. Ask.
So I'm curious. I mean, it sounds. I mean, the book's an interesting read. I think that's good. But can you give me specific examples separate of the email of things that you have automated?
Yeah, I think one of the things that really made a difference for us was automating our HR onboarding. And so, I mean, it's been 17 years since I started Jotform, and when because I was able to automate my business, Google Forms didn't beat us, and we continued to grow. And today we have 500 employees, and we have 20 million users, 500 employees, like offices in 7 cities. So we have become a much bigger company. But as we have been growing, one of the things that we were doing right, and it wasn't really a passion of mine neither, was the onboarding new employees. Yeah. And there involves a lot of stuff, like it involves legal, accounting, things like that. So, they need to sign documents, they need to sign an NDA, and, you need to assign a buddy for their first day, get their hardware ready and get all the accounts ready for them. Like, there is just like hundreds of, like, I can't believe there can be so many things that needs to be done for a new employee to start. But there are hundreds of things. And in the past, like at the first days, like I was doing everything. And then gradually, as we had added, HR, we were able to, we were still doing manually, but as we made it completely automated, as we turned that into like a workflow that's completely automated, that really made a big difference, because now we were not forgetting anything. When someone at the HR team, if someone goes to vacation, we don't forget to sign a document to someone, or we were missing stuff. So everything was being handled correctly when we switched over.
And did you do that all in Jotform, or did you do that in an HR software program?
We were in the beginning doing with Jotform, but then when we were actually getting a SOC 2 compliant, that we needed to switch to a SOC 2 compliant solution. So we switched to Bamboo HR, which is really, really good. And now that we are SOC 2 compliant, we are actually switching back to Jotform, because it's better. I really believe in like using our own product, because it gives us opportunity to like find like missing points, like missing features, and improving our product.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would recommend Bamboo HR. Definitely, it's a great product.
Yeah, and then you've also got your own. So okay, and then so what's another example you can give me of something that you automated that made a big difference?
We can talk about your project. Do you want to automate one of your like projects? Talk about how we can automate it.
Well, the automating on a new employee onboarding, that's a big one. So that's a good one. Automating the process of, so I teach doing one-on-one meetings with people once a week. They report to you directly. So I talk about a lot of what we do is we're trying to go from point A to point B. So to reach a target, I call goals targets for that reason. And basically you follow a map. So the agenda for the meeting is a map, and it covers past, present, and then future. So the past is the M in the MAP acronym. Those are the metrics. So, are you meeting with your direct reports? How are you talking with clients? What's the ticket count? And the different pieces of information there, the metrics that kind of confirm. And what did you commit you were going to get done for me, or vice versa, prior to this meeting? So there's accountability. It starts with accountability. Well, it starts with, hi, how are you doing? what do you want to get out of this meeting? But after that,
How are you
goes
keeping
into
track
metrics.
of that information?
Right now, I just use OneNote.
Okay.
Yeah, OneNote. And then we go into what's new? What do we need to talk about now? What's changed? What do we need to get done? And then that's the present piece. That's A, adjustments. And then you go into P, plan. So out of this meeting, what are the action items? What's the plan? So we don't have that automated. It's just in OneNote.
Yeah, I mean, we also have one-on-one meetings, and what we have is, obviously we use forms, and they work really well. And every time someone we have all these different questions, like is this person after someone actually has a one-on-one meeting, a manager has or a team lead has a one-on-one meeting with a teammate. They fill out a form, if this person has a problem, if this person wants to get training about something. We have all these different kind of questions, and our HR team actually reviews those questions. If there's a problem, they're going to flag, and they're going to send that information to someone, so that if someone wants to take a training or someone wants to change their teams or something, that information is passed to that person. So the forms actually allows, because when people fill the forms, if they just send an email, they will forget something. But if they are filling a form, they're going to ask for exact questions, and you can find out if they are not going to forget mentioning something important. So definitely the forms could help. And there are products like Airtable that kind of allows you to have like a spreadsheet format, but also kind of relational database kind of spreadsheet format. And we also created our own Airtable similar product called Jotform tables, but basically it can have like multiple tables that are connected to each other. That would also be useful.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that so one of the things I learned after I realized I had leadership attributes but no skills was the main failure I had with systems. And what I like about what you're talking about with automating your busy work and then also Jotform is you're talking about systems and systems that help people follow through on their intentions.
That's actually
a lot of people drop the ball.
That's actually the third step in the automation flywheel, which is refining and iterating your systems, building, refining and iterating on your systems, because you don't want to just create one automation and be done with it, or a couple of automations. It's a process of continuous improvement. But the problem is that you're automating things, but you don't know what's happening, right? You want to be aware of what's happening with systems, and how you do that is by using metrics, by using KPIs, key performance indicators, and let's say on the HR onboarding example, like how many people, like how long it took for someone to be onboarded. Did everyone actually receive their hardware on their first day at the job? Did they receive all their accounts at the first day at the job? How long it took for us to really, complete things, get their signature or things like that, and also getting feedback from people, like using surveys, so that or asking them to rate something, so that you can be aware of if things are breaking down. Because when you do things manually, one advantage of doing things manually, if there's a problem, you can actually see that. But as you automate more and more things, it's happening without you seeing it. And it's, if there's a problem, you may not be aware of it. So it's important that you are getting all the data, all the numbers, you're reviewing the numbers, and you have reports that you look at to make sure things are improving, and also about like iterating on your systems. And there's a book that I really love. It's from Dan Elder, Meadows. It's a book named Systems Thinking, and it talks about how everything is a system, and how if you start looking at the world as systems, then things start making more sense, because otherwise it's a chaos. But when you look at the world as systems, then you start seeing cause and effect. You start seeing leverage points, feedback loops, like how if you change something, how that's going to affect things. So and if when you look at, especially in business, if you want to grow, if you want to become more successful, get more customers, and grow your business, that it's very important that you look at everything as systems and try to improve them, try to automate them. And automation is really important, because you can only do so many things by yourself. But as you automate more things, it just becomes easier to build systems, improve systems, because automation works 24/7. They don't sleep, they don't go to vacation, and they don't get tired. Like the machine is doing, it's basically delegation, but you're delegating things to the machine. You're not delegating it to people, but you're delegating things to automation. And this is the age where it's becoming possible to automate everything.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great place to leave it for the audience, because I mean, here you've taken on Google and you've won. You've got 500 employees. You're still growing like gangbusters and have 20 million clients. So, Aytekin, any closing thoughts on where you want to direct the audience to find your book or learn more about your company, Jotform?
Yeah. So my book, Automate Your Busywork, is coming out on May 16th, and you can pre-order on Amazon. And Jotform is an online form builder, as I mentioned. You can go to jotform.com and create a free account and start playing with it. And I hope that you will like it.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Aytekin, for being on the show.
Thank you, David.
Thanks for being with us today. If you enjoyed the conversation with Aytekin, please let us know. Leave us a comment or a rating, subscribe, send this along to others. That would be great. Don't forget our sponsor, Habitly.com, where you can learn the habits of highly successful people. And we look forward to having you back. We've got more great leaders coming on, so don't miss it. But bye for now.